Welcome to the first ever performance of the Foreshadow Puppet Show. For our first act, prepare yourself for the not-so-everlasting story about a man who finds his true love only to have their family feud tear them apart. No, it's not Romeo and Juliet. It's Mortmio and Deadliet. Ooh. But you already know all this. You already know that the two star-crossed lovers died together for a bittersweet poetic end, and that the two lovers' families have pure contempt for the other upon reading the first page. This is because of a literary device called foreshadowing. We'll touch more upon this later, but now we move on to the first act of our Foreshadow play. Hi, Deadliet. You're going to die one day, and that day will be soon.
Excusez-moi, that is no way to talk to a lady, Mortmio. If I didn't know better, I would think you are implying that I will die very soon.
True. Surely there is no way either of us will die in the next 4 days. What kind of love story would that be? Probably a tragic one where exactly 5 people die. But okay, seriously. You are definitely going to die very soon, and you should get that checked. This is a concrete foreshadow. No expense is spared to spoon-feed the fact that Mortmio and Deadliet are going to die very soon. They even give specific details to solidify the concreteness of the foreshadow. In our next act, Prince Aeschylus reads a part of the not-so-subtle prologue. Ooh. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their love buried their parents' strife, the fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove. This is also a concrete foreshadow. They clearly state that the pair of lovers, Mortmio and Deadliet, take their life. They also talk about the death burying their parents' strife, their love being death-marked and their children's end being the only thing that capable of removing their parents' rage. The style of prologue forecast, the ending was more popular in the Elizabethan age compared to modern writings. Modern authors prefer to use more abstract foreshadows and don't like revealing their ending in the first paragraph. Let's try it in a different light. Imagine if the prologue had been read in a more subtle fashion. Let's try a more abstract approach. A pair of star-crossed lovers are together at last, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their final form of protest bury their parents' strife, steadfast, the frightful passage of their forbidden love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's united stand naught could remove. This is a much subtler and less spoon-feed-esque foreshadow. Hence, it is an abstract foreshadow. Abstract foreshadowing requires a reader to read in between the lines and infer. The message is less concrete with multiple interpretations and extrapolations of the meaning. In this example, together at last foreshadows that they can finally be together in their grave. The final form of protest is committing suicide. Their forbidden love references the forbidden fruit and the amount of chaos it caused as a result of their children's united stand, and it often allows for more reader interpretation and subtle information drops. Abstract foreshadowing is often seen as more sophisticated and creative. However, both concrete and abstract foreshadows have their place as literary devices. Now let's try some very challenging examples of abstract foreshadow. These require complete translation from Elizabethan English to modern English for a better understanding. The day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins a woe, others must end. From on the pen, it more precisely means to hover over, so it makes sense that Romeo is referring to the death of Mercutio as a dark thundercloud racing above him, leading to some unknown future. In the scene, Romeo later avenges Mercutio by killing Tybalt. He then gives another example of abstract foreshadowing. Oh, I am a fortune's fool. When Romeo means fool, he actually means that he was a victim of deception. This thus shows that Romeo has lost control of his fate and that distress is drawing near. And that's our show, folks. We hope you enjoyed the Foreshadow Puppet Show. It must have been very entertaining, and we believe, without a shadow of doubt, that you have learned a lot. Remember, foreshadowing is a useful literary device to forecast future events, subtly or not so subtly hint at important concepts. Additionally, both abstract and concrete foreshadows have their own place in literature, neither being inherently better. Thanks again for watching the show, and hopefully you don't get kidnapped by any shady figures when exiting the theater. Good night.
Xinjiang.